Hey, Carpet Bomb marketers. Hey, I just wanted to shoot you this quick video to impart something upon you about the importance of what you're about to embark on. And I know, and trust me, I know it's been a long time coming. I apologize for how long it's taken thus far. So many moving parts in a technically based product of any kind, whether it's info product or physical product or software product. Uh, Not making excuses, but again, want to assure you everything is moving forward, definitely. But I wanted to point out a story that literally happened to me and why what you're about to embark on is so vitally important for your business. And it's all good news. So I've been to two events recently. I basically stopped going to any kind of seminars or entrepreneur events for some time, primarily due to the fact that I felt I was at a space where I didn't really need to learn anything new yet. I needed to stop and spend my time building my business instead of continuing to learn. And yeah, that was primarily it. I didn't really have a strong enough outcome to go. But twice this year, the outcome became strong enough to go for two different, complete separate reasons. One was to support a newfound friend who was speaking from stage for the first time at her own event. It was a co-sponsored event. And the second was because another dear friend of mine who is in our group uh, basically, um, basically, if you will, gave me a scholarship ticket to come to another event that was in Las Vegas. And some really neat things happened at both. And here's what happened. So I used to be in the fitness industry. In fact, I just finished working out. That's why I didn't bother dressing up for you. Apologies, but hey, getting it done. It's all about results. Got the cool Reach Your Peak hat on. And where was I? So I went to these events, and something amazing happened at both of them. At the first one, this was in Huntington Beach, California. Uh, we were, in our typical like networking circles, so to speak, at a break in the action. This particular one was a one-day event, and there was a break, and I was standing amongst a circle of one, two, three, four, so five, including myself, and it was one gentleman and the rest women and myself, so three women and two guys. Anyway, um, the what happens during those times are you're catching up with people that you haven't seen in a long time, and or you're meeting new people, and it was both in this one circle. And the gentleman I was catching up with asked me, he said, what are you up to now? It's been years since we last saw each other. And I said, yeah, I'm glad you asked, thank you. And I had asked him already what he did. That's the way you properly network, as you guys already know, you're advanced. And that what happened next was quite telling of what's going on. See, I used to be in fitness, like I said, in the fitness industry, and my elevator pitch or my what are you doing now answer was widely different than what I came up with right there on the spot. What I'm doing is using my live show as the entrance into getting to know me, in an entrance into being able to do business with me ultimately. So it's really, if you will, the entrance to my entire sales funnel. And I decided that that was going to be my approach. And so when he asked me that question, I said, oh, well, what I do is I interview successful entrepreneurs such as yourself on a live streaming television show where I live stream to over 9 platforms simultaneously. And at that moment, I kid you not, everyone in this little circle, the ladies started digging in their purses. One dug in her shirt because that's where her pocket was in her brassiere, and pulled out, you guessed it, their business cards. And they're literally putting them like right under my chin, like, please take my card. Instantly at that moment, they had no idea. I didn't tell them any of the details behind it other than I interview highly successful entrepreneurs such as yourself, and I would kind of include them as I'm saying that, on 9 platforms simultaneously. Immediately, their ears and eyes got really big, all of them, and they instantly wanted to connect with me at a deeper level. And they basically wanted to be interviewed on the show for obvious reasons. Just the concept alone sold itself. And you'll learn in Carpet Bomb Marketing that there is a way to actually monetize your show. It's something I wouldn't recommend doing right out of the chute, and we'll get into that later. And so not all of them will appear on my show. As a result, that's okay. They all were contacted. And so I'll give you all the secrets and tips on how to monetize later. The show itself at this point is not the moneymaker. It is the foot in the door, really, for me to get into the door with them as a potential client for, in this case, what you're getting involved with right now, carpet bomb marketing. That's my key, my crowning jewel, if you will, product at the moment. And I mentioned in the post above, actually it's probably below now, that I've been also working with and consulting with 2 other companies. And that brings me to story number 2. Story number 2 was not long later, maybe a month later, I went to Las Vegas for another event. And once again, similar thing happened. This time, speaking in a circle of, it was all men at this point. And interestingly enough, at the first event, it was primarily women. The second event, it was the women still outnumbered the men. It just happened to be, I saw somebody I recognized, once again, a different person. I walked up, waited very patiently and very politely, and he just slowly sensed that there was somebody next to him because they were in a circle. And then he recognized me and then invited me into the circle. And I said, hey, I don't want to interrupt, blah, 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 being very polite and all that. And he started, we started catching up. And of course, the other men were listening in. Here it goes again. He says, so what are you up to, Brian, these days? And I said, well, I'm no longer in the fitness industry, as you may recall from earlier when we last met. I've transitioned, and now what I do is I interview successful entrepreneurs such as yourself on live streaming television show where it's streamed live simultaneously to 9 or more platforms simultaneously, blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, the same exact thing happened. All the guys were diving into their pockets and wallets and doing it again. The same thing. Shoving their business, I mean, they were being respectful, right? But they were putting them out there like, please take my card. And they were being respectful because they wanted to talk that second. You could see it all over them. They were just, I want in. That was the vibe. And then when my buddy stopped talking and opened it so others could talk, immediately, hey, we got to talk. We have to talk. I want to be on your show. I got to see your show, blah, blah, blah. And they don't even know what the show's about yet. I mean, that's literally all I told them. No details about the show. None. Except that, until we then ensued in deeper discussion. And it just hit me that second time is when it really hit me. It's like, my goodness, this is, to date, the most powerful lead magnet I have ever had as a business. Ever. And so, for those of you that might be wondering or thinking, why would I spend all this time and effort putting together all of this infrastructure, the graphics and the software and computers and lining up interviews and all that? Why would I spend all that for no real money in return, especially in the beginning? I mean, that seems like insanity. Why would I do that? Well, now you know why. I originally started doing live shows for the sole purpose of increasing my brand awareness to others. So it's the know, like, and trust factor that many of you are familiar with, is increasing my platform. And so many other things have happened as a result. It's hard to quantify, but the relationships that have been formed as a result of having previously, people I've never known or met before that came onto the show. And I'll give you a great resource to find more people that you've never met. It has been a game changer. My last interview was from that source, that very source. If you're watching, it's probably below. Brian Winch he came from that source, and all of them to date that have come from this source have been top quality, top notch. And so, it's paying off huge dividends. It has also, it's been instrumental in my foot getting in the door of a television and radio network owner, who I am now consulting with. I'm consulting with him, and I'm doing a lot of additional things completely separate from this video production. Doing some back-end automation work, sales work as well. Really exciting stuff. It's all in my core competency, so I'm really excited about that. And then another gentleman happened to be within earshot of another conversation that was going on, unrelated to video, But the whole thing was because I had this video and it was part of the conversation, it added an additional layer of quality to me, meaning authority status. It's kind of like when you write a book. When you have a book, your authority status goes up quickly and instantly. And so, of course, I invited this second gentleman onto my show as well. But that was way down there in my list of priorities because this gentleman has found a way to crush it on social media to get a massive following. And as a result, I am now also consulting with him. All because I showed up to an event and literally because of this, what you're watching right now. But, because I do this live and have built an entire, I don't know what I want to call it, just an entire thing around it. It is the lead magnet, and it's like this just massive open door, or that it opens and people just want to run in. And it's been a phenomenal lead magnet source. And so I just wanted to impart that upon you, that you can use this as your lead into any discussion with anyone for any business, especially at networking events. The beauty of it is so many-fold because you don't have to have them sit with you right here physically in your studio. That's the whole purpose of this, is so you can do this anywhere and literally any time that they want to be. But for you now, as you read on my last very lengthy post, you'll be able to have more flexibility even in where you will be sitting during the interview. And yes, I've looked into other aspects of that mobility factor, being able to do this on, say, a laptop instead of a super power PC like I have been doing. I'm using XSplit as I speak. This is XSplit. It's very, very robust software. I just love it dearly. But it's not going to provide the flexibility that many could use, including yours truly. And that would include also very portable, very small, but very powerful studio lighting. I just discovered it literally today as I'm filming this, and I'm excited because I will then acquire those for when I'm on the road. Of course, test it at home first. And the other part was a portable green screen that basically it's kind of like those banners that you pull up for a show or a seminar, and you can see behind me only needs to be about that wide, and that will fit in a suitcase. It's just a tube, and you pull it up and put the bars on it, and so you can have your studio in a suitcase, literally. I'm looking around because I haven't assessed absolutely everything. Yeah, microphone, you can get the microphones that I recommend, USB based, they do fine. They're fantastic. Those are small. Those will fit. So a laptop and a few ancillary pieces of equipment. That's about it. Yeah, you might in that case need to put on headphones or earbuds. You just keep those with you in case. But anyway, we'll worry about those details when the time comes. Just want to let you know about these two stories of when stating what I did, and it was just this show that everybody wanted to be involved, and it's a magnet. The thing I felt, and when I was there, I literally felt that people instantly loved me. I mean, they loved me. It was like I was not a celebrity or a star, but they knew that what I did would help them immediately and instantly. It hit them immediately. I mean, I barely got the sentence out, and they're doing this. So, just want to impart that on you on how important this particular beta test group is going to be, the results for you. And I promise I'm working it. I'm working it. It's taking some time. Just be patient with me. It will be worth the wait because I do nothing half-baked. It's all or nothing, pedal to the metal. There's no half speed. There's no partial speed. It's 100% forward, and that's how I treat everything. I want the quality to be top-notch. I know it won't be perfect out of the chute, and that's another reason I'm so pleased and thankful that you're part of the beta test group, because I want your input and feedback when things don't look right, that we can make it better going forward. That's one of my primary outcomes for having you as a beta tester. And again, really happy about what I wrote down there about the result, where ultimately it will be, by the time this course comes out and you actually go through the instructions of the course and take the quizzes, etc., by that time, I'm pretty darn certain that the new kid on the block that you can read down there will be in place and will be the de facto studio software to use. and that will save you literally thousands of dollars. It'll save you a $3,000 plus PC because you need some superpower to make this thing work the way it is today, the way I have it. That will be no more. And so I'm excited. And so I hope you get excited, and I apologize for my lack of being there, updating you consistently and constantly. I know others do that, and I felt it was time. It's been long overdue. I know it is. I need to update more often. But just want to let you know I'm still there working it, and it's coming. It's coming, and it's going to be glorious when you get to start your own show. I can't wait to be there, to do this side by side and help you every step of the way to see you to that level of success that I am now seeing. All right, and based on what I've learned, I'll be able to get you there faster than it took me. It's been over a year that I've done this show, learned a lot over that course of time, and you're going to get all of it instantly, whammo, downloadable into your respective tools to use and enjoy and really crush it in business. All right, this has been too long already. I'm going to sign off and go get some dinner because I just finished working out. All right, Carpet Bomb marketers, I appreciate you like you have no idea, and this is going to be awesome. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.